Bam Adebayo going for 83 points. Still surprises me and shocks me. Bam Adebayo, Miami Heat star, went for 83 points against the Washington Wizards on Tuesday night. Phenomenal game. I think he had 31 in the first quarter, 62 points through three, and scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. I thought it was a great showing. I know you have a lot of opinions about this, Brett, so I will open the floor to you. What do you think about Bam's 83-point game?
Out of all the players in the NBA, I don't think Bam Adebayo would have even been on my top 100 list of guys that could maybe pass Kobe's 81-point performance. And it's a remarkable achievement. I think that there's two sides of this, and I respect both sides' viewpoints, and I kind of share viewpoints on both sides of these. So let's start with the good. I think that 83 points should be celebrated. I think that this is a historic moment for the NBA. It's a historic moment for a great player in Bam Adebayo. Let's not discredit what he has done in this league. Obviously, he's not the same level scorer as a Devin Booker or an Anthony Edwards type player, but he's an all-star in his own right. He's a two-time gold medalist, and he's one of the better players in this league. So I think that we should appreciate what he did on that night. And it's one of those moments that you're going to look back on and not forget where you were. I mean, everybody remembers Kobe's final game. Everybody remembers Kobe's 81 points and different historical performances like that. This had the same kind of impact where people around the nation, guys in locker rooms, guys at games, were stopped in their tracks and they were watching what was happening during the second half of this game. And it's not like that this whole stat padding thing that everybody's talking about happened throughout the entire game, because he had 31, 33 points after the first quarter. And then at halftime, he had over 50 points. After the third quarter, I think it was like 63, 64 points.
At halftime, he had 43 points.
43.
31 after one and 62 after three.
Okay, so it's not like that this entire game he was chasing free throws, which we're going to talk about shortly with that disaster of a fourth quarter. But that what happened during halftime, what happened after the third quarter, that was all a remarkable achievement. Any guy that has 60 points on 50% shooting after three quarters, I think that's a remarkable achievement. And then obviously he ends with 83, the second highest scoring game in NBA history, only behind Wilt. Lakers fans are going to be sour about it because he passed Kobe Bryant, but I think that this is a very historic moment, Tomer. So I'm going to throw it back to you for the positive, and then we'll get into the fourth quarter of this game.
It could have been much worse. I mean, the Heat took him out with 1:40 left, if I'm not mistaken. So if they really wanted to stat pad, they could have left him in even longer, kept fouling, kept bringing up the score, trying to get him to 90 points. So they didn't do that. So on one level, Bam Adebayo is a fantastic player. I think very underrated in this league. He's not scoring on that level again. It's safe to say. I think you have one of those out-of-body experiences. He has 30 points in the first quarter. I think he joined like Kevin Love and Klay Thompson as the guys who do that recently. And those guys are, you consider scorers and shooters. Bam was not that. I think his career high for threes in a game, I think, was 6 coming into the game, and he had 5 in the first quarter. This is just one of those, heat checks that he got hot. Might as well ride that, go all the way. And, that fourth quarter, he did shoot a lot of free throws. But I saw, if you go back and watch the film, Washington was not playing great defense. I mean, they were trying to triple team him. They were hacking. They were doing whatever they could to try and get the ball out of his hands, or at least not get him to shoot the ball. And so maybe you should look at Washington. I think, we always talk about, at the end of a game, if you let someone score a basket a basket with the time running out, if you don't want him to score, you should probably guard them. Well, I think the Washington Wizards have done the same. Should have guarded Bam Adebayo better if you didn't want him to score 80 points on you. When you look at it, Bam Adebayo had fewer points in the fourth quarter than Kobe did in his 81-point game, and Wilt Chamberlain did in his 100-point game. It's not like it was super shameless. They were just trying to get him to a certain number that he probably wasn't going to get there again. Wilt was scoring at an all-time level. I think he averaged 50 for a season or two. Like, he was scoring like that. Kobe had gotten 62 through 3 before. Like, he was scoring like that. Bam Adebayo is probably not going to do that again. I think it's safe to say. I have no problem with it. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was fun. I thought some of the takes coming out over the last couple of days have been downright miserable. I don't know if people just don't enjoy the game, because if you ask me, I think if this is Steph Curry or LeBron or Anthony Edwards or Wemby or Shea, like, I don't think anyone's having an issue with it. I don't think anyone's complaining nearly to this level. And because it wasn't pure hoops, jump shots, step backs, and all this, people have a problem with it. So good for Bam. Congrats to Bam. I'm happy for him. That's awesome to see. I hope someone breaks his 83 with 45 free throws. I just put up numbers, because that's really, really hard to do. You know the amount of work it takes to just have that much stamina to take 40 shots
at
in
the
a
free
game?
throw line and have 10 seconds to take your shot.
The guy's jersey and shorts are 2 different colors based from how drenched he is. That takes so much stamina. I don't think people understand that. It takes so much energy. I think he played the entire second half. So screw it. Go get your 83, man. I love it.
Was there stat padding? Absolutely. Was there stat padding in Kobe's game? Yeah. Was there stat padding in Wilt's game? Yeah, there was. The stat padding wasn't the problem necessarily. What I have a problem with, Tomer, is when there's 4 minutes or 3 minutes left in a game and you're up 25 on the Washington Generals, who are in last place in the NBA, and then you start fouling them intentionally to try to get this guy not necessarily shots, but to get him to the free throw line, to delay the game further, and then you go through the same thing again. That's what I had a problem with, and that's why I was laughing throughout the final 3-4 minutes of this game. I started texting a bunch of guys, scouts. I was even texting one player in the league, and he was basically saying that he was shaking his head in the locker room watching it, that he couldn't believe that they were fouling him with 3 minutes left, fouling the Washington Generals, so they would go to the line to try to extend the game. So I think that's where the biggest problem lies. And I put blame on Eric Spoelstra for that. I think that to do that is just not right. I think that it took away the ethics of basketball, and it just wasn't the display that the NBA probably necessarily wanted. But again, this is what happened, and the Washington Generals are just bad. And I know that.
What are the ethics of basketball?
You don't foul a team when you're up 26 points in the fourth quarter. Why are you fouling? Just to get your guy to the free throw line?
Once in a lifetime chance to get 80 points.
I don't care. You have to take into account that there
no,
are
you don't.
certain...
No,
yes,
you don't. You're never doing this again. No, you don't. No, you do not.
I'll
you
put
go
it this
for
way.
80.
There could have easily been a fight on that court. If you put one of these guys, like let's say Isaiah Stewart or some other hothead in the league was on the court for Washington in this game, do you think that would have happened? It probably would have escalated to a point that the NBA would not have wanted.
You should have defended him better, not even let him get to that point. That's all I got to say.
I agree, but why are you
fouling
fouling a team up 26 points? You don't do that.
Okay, so Washington was shooting free throws, sure, to stop the game. They were fouling them right back.
Who?
It's not like Bam was...
Yeah, but Washington wasn't intentionally fouling Bam. He wasn't crossing half court, and they weren't just wrapping him up to send him to the free throw line.
They should have guarded him better. I have no issue with Eric Spoelstra doing what he did. Get your guy 80 points because it's probably not going to happen.
No,
again.
I agree. I sit on both sides here. Like if I was Eric Spoelstra, I would have done it too. But there's a certain side of it that's like it's just not good basketball, and that's why people are complaining about it. Of him shooting this many free throws, 43 free throws compared to Kobe in his performance, he only had 20. So this is how I look at it, Tomer. I think that both performances are historic in their own right. Kobe scored 81. Bam finished the game with 83, and that's what I'm going to leave it at.
Like I said earlier, I think if Shea did this, if LeBron did this, if Steph did this, people would not have an issue the way they do with Bam. And you know, NBA record 43 free throws. I think he broke Dwight Howard's record of 39 in the game. Look, it's a lot of free throws. It's a lot of free throws. That end was rough to watch. I'm not going to lie, but you have a chance to make history or climb up the leaderboard like that. Something we haven't seen in 20 years. 20 years and 2 months. You do it. I'm all for it. Excited for Bam. Congrats to him. I'm excited to see what he puts up tonight or tomorrow, whatever he plays. You know, he dropped 20 points. He's averaging 50 over his last 2 games. So excited to see that. Moving on to another